Hi, how you doing today? This is Rich from Rich TV Live, and I have a top 10 stocks for July 2019 list that I wanted to bring to your attention. Let's get right into it. So, in number 10 spot for July 2019, Cantrust Holdings Inc. I absolutely love this company. If you take a look at a chart over 2 years, and we're looking at this right on our website, richtvlive.com. So go over there and take a look at what we're pulling up right here. So this is the chart here. And something very interesting I'm identifying is we're kind of at the bottom. Like historically, it doesn't get much lower than this for Cantrust. Look at the prices. Historically, it doesn't get much lower than this. So over the last few years, the $6 range seems to be the floor every single time. Here we are again in that $6 range. So I'm not suggesting it won't go lower. It could definitely go lower. Anything can happen. But I also do believe it could go way higher. And on the next run, like we've seen two massive runs here, take it up to as high as $15 and as high as $13.45. On the next run, if you position yourself at the bottom here, in around the $6 range, you may find yourself an opportunity to have a huge winner. Now, if I take a look at the download free research report here on richtvlive.com for Cantrust, and I click on download free research report, let's see if they've got a research report. Bam. So we got a research report here on Cantrust. Cantrust Holding Inc. is engaged in the business of producing and distributing medical cannabis in Canada. Its facilities is located at Vaughan, Ontario in Canada. Its brands include LIIV, Escape, SYNR.G, and Peak Leaf. So you can see all of their details here, their website, their phone number, their address, their listing on the Toronto Stock Exchange. They're also listed in America on the senior exchange. You can see all the information here. Their market cap is at 948 million. Their shares issued and outstanding is at 141 million. That's actually a quite tight float in comparison to some of its peers. And if you take a look at their recent news and filings, they just recently announced that they are going to enter into America, which I'm very, very excited about. I love the American market for cannabis stocks, and I believe Cantrust is deeply undervalued, and they're actually number 10 on my list. They could be way higher. Absolutely love this company. I don't see any reason why they don't double. So please put Cantrust TRST on your radar, put it on your watch list in Canada, CTST in America. I believe the upside is phenomenal. Now look at the amount of shares in their float. It's 80.2%. All of these details are on the free research report on richtvlive.com when you search the symbol, and you can see that the short interest ratio is 1.24%. There is not a lot of shorts, so that's a good sign. And here, 1.77 million. So there's only 1.7 million shares short on this stock. Interesting. Very interesting. You can see income statement, their last revenue of 40.9 million. Revenue growth of 194%. That is incredible revenue growth. And all of these details are on Rich TV Live under Research Report. That is Cantrust and why they are number 10 on my list of top 10 stocks for July 2019. And I'll be honest with you, I think they could be way higher on this list. I really do. I don't see any reason why they can't go way higher on this list. But this list is so good and so explosive. Now, there is no analyst coverage yet on Cantrust, which is weird. So that is my number 10 pick. In number 9, this is one you probably never heard of. Gold is hot, guys. Gold is hot. And most of these picks I'm going to give you are going to be bigger companies, big board companies. But this is a smaller one. This is the smallest one out of all the companies I'm covering for you. Now remember, Rich TV Live is strictly for education and entertainment purposes. Always do your due diligence. Always do your research before you invest in anything that we talk about on Rich TV Live, okay? Now, Fiore Gold has been up and down. We've seen them as low as 21 cents, okay? Now they are over 40. So they're starting to reach kind of like a high over the last year here, all right? So you have to be very careful. Don't chase it. But what I want you to do is I want you to put on your watch list. I want you to put on your radar. They are being promoted very heavily by National Inflation Association, which is one of the biggest promoters out there. They have 97.57 million shares, and I like that. Under 100 million shares issued outstanding, and they are a gold stock, which National Inflation Association believes has enormous upside and has been talking about them a lot. You can see here some of their headlines. Fiore Gold begins drilling program at Gold Rock Project in support of preliminary economic assessment target for year-end 2019. So there's a lot of news here for Fiore Gold, and gold is hot. So I wanted to bring Fiore Gold to your attention. They are a gold stock, and gold is hot. So I think you should be aware of it. The symbol in America is FIOGF. So let's take a look at here. Put the symbol here. So CanTrust TRST is number 10. CTST in America is number 10. And in number 9, we have Fiore Gold. And gold is hot. So F is the symbol in Canada, and the symbol in America is FIOGF. Hey, how you doing, David Sharp? You're in on Fiore Gold? You're in on Fiore Gold? Yeah, so National Inflation Association has been promoting these guys hard. They believe they're going to go up, and they've got a good track record. Remember, this is a penny stock. I'm not suggesting you buy it, okay? All I'm suggesting is that you put on your watch list, put it on your radar. Let me know what you think. It's got, a little volume. It isn't trading like crazy yet. It is a moderate buy right now on richtvlive.com. The analyst rating is a moderate buy. But there's only one analyst recommendation. So there isn't a lot of coverage on this security, okay? But with gold being hot, who knows, right? So just put it on your watch list, put it on your radar. I think Fiore Gold has a lot of potential. They are my number 9 pick. Now in number 8, I've been staying away from the big board stocks, talking to you guys about them, but we're going to start getting into them more and more now. I'm more and more excited about big board stocks, and I want to show you guys some of the ones that our community at Rich TV Live and myself really believe in. MasterCard. Now, I know it's $264, but if you're looking to invest in a big board company that's going up over time, I can't think of a company better than this. Like, look at this chart. I mean, this chart is as good as it gets, and that's their 5-year chart. It's just unbelievable. So MasterCard, more and more people are getting into debt. More and more people are using their credit cards. We're in a cashless society. MasterCard is one of those stocks that's just like almost like a can't lose investment. Now, obviously, I say that with a disclaimer. You can lose on anything in the markets. I do not control the markets. I do not control MasterCard. But this chart is a thing of beauty, and I think it needs to be on everybody's watch list. And if you're looking to build a portfolio and have some security, then why not invest in the fact that more and more people are getting into debt? I mean, to be honest with you, like if this thing just keeps going up 1% a day, you're just making money all the time. So I just want to bring you guys better and better companies, and MasterCard is just an absolute beast. The shares outstanding are 1.02 billion shares outstanding. Massive market cap for this company. Chart is phenomenal. Let's take a look at this research report. Is there one? Let's see if they've got a research report. Look at that. Strong buy. So the analyst rating, and obviously there's a lot of coverage, they are ranked 5th out of 25 companies in financial transactions. Absolute giant. Strong buy. Look at the analyst rating. It's a strong buy. Okay. This company right now is hot. And MasterCard is the second largest payment processor in the world, only behind Visa, clearly, and processed 4.3 trillion in purchase transactions in 2018. MasterCard operates in over 200 countries and processes transactions in over 150 currencies. Wow, that's impressive. 14,800 employees for MasterCard, and they are on the New York Stock Exchange. The chart is just phenomenal on this, and it's just one of those companies you can't see going down because more and more people are going to continue to get into debt, and more people will continue to use their credit cards because we live in a society where almost every government in the world is in debt. So if the government is in debt, then chances are the people will be in debt. Now, the one thing that I find interesting about this stock is look at the short interest. The short interest ratio is only 1.8%. There's barely anybody shorting this stock. 7.2 million shorts out of a 1.02 billion float. Only less than 2% of the entire float is being shorted. So, I mean, that right there, that kind of tells you if nobody's shorting the stock, then everybody's buying it. So, you know, we really kind of pride ourselves here on Rich TV Live to bring you the winners and bring you companies that are going up and bring you companies that are going to go up and bring you companies that are consistently going up. This is one of those companies that shouldn't be a secret to anybody. I want to make it known they're the number 8 stock on this list, but they could easily be number 1. That's how good MasterCard is. In a society where more and more people are using credit and we live in a world where there's so much debt, the governments are deeply in debt and printing money, we're moving towards having these facilities have a bigger stake in society. And you can see the revenue growth. Over the last 3 years, the revenue growth is 18.9%. The revenue was 17.98 billion. Revenue per share 17.60, and revenue growth over the last 5 years 15.11%. So we see a company here that is just growing and growing and growing. So that is why I have MasterCard in number 8. Look at this. Annual dividend rate 1.32. So they do have dividends, folks. And the payment type in dividend is in cash. And the annual dividend yield is 49.91%. So this is a company that is doing all the right things and one that everyone should consider having on their watch list, having it on their radar, because they are an absolute giant. Now, in number 7, the company I just mentioned, which I believe everybody should be looking at on their watch list, on their radar, and it looks almost like a twin to MasterCard, it's Visa. Visa at $173, and their chart looks very similar. Take a look at this. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? So you got the 2 biggest debt facilities in the world, and both of them just keep going up in a society where more and more people are getting into debt, and more people are using their credit, and more people are gaining credit, and more people are gaining access to credit. And even when you're a kid and then you start getting a job, they give you a credit card. So this is the way things are going. Why go against the trend? If you see something that's just climbing and climbing and climbing and climbing and climbing, like, where's the risk here? Where's the risk here? Now let's take a look at their fundamentals. Shares outstanding. They have twice as many shares out as MasterCard. 2.19 billion shares. And that's probably why they're at a lower price. Do you notice that? MasterCard is trading at a higher price than Visa. Why? They got less shares out. Companies with more shares mean more dilution. Okay? So I believe Visa is an absolute giant, and everyone should consider having it in their watch list, in their radar, on their radar. Now, you can get all this information at richtvlive.com, and we are going to be doing a alert where you're going to be able to get access to picks, and we are building a membership, and we are going to have more and more tools and resources available to you on richtvlive.com. And it's going to become a platform for you, the traders, to be able to get access to all of these tools at your fingertips. And we literally just launched this website, and we already have so many members that are signing up to our email list. So thank you for that. And Visa here is a strong buy. Look at this. 21 strong buys, 1 moderate buy, 1 hold. They are ranked 5th out of 25 companies for financial transactions. Let's scroll down here. They have 17,000 employees. Visa is the largest payment processor in the world. It's fiscal 2018. It processed 8.2 trillion in purchase transactions. Visa operates in over 200 countries and processes transactions in over 160 currencies. Its systems are capable of processing over 65,000 transactions per second. Wow. 65,000 transactions per second. Unbelievable. This company should be on everybody's radar. It should be on everybody's watch list. And if you're looking to build a good, strong portfolio, Visa and MasterCard can help you kind of round out your portfolio, okay? And really just give it some real strength and some security, because people are going to keep getting into debt. I'm sorry. That's the world we live in. I keep saying it. If the government is trillions in debt and printing money every day, the people will continue to be in debt. Visa and MasterCard will continue to grow. That's just the fact. Now look at their shares. There is a 4% short interest ratio in Visa, which is still nothing. 26.98 million shares are being shorted out of an entire float of 2.18 billion shares. Institutions bought 108 million shares over the last 3 months, sold 72 million shares over the last 3 months. So what that tells you there in this analysis is that the institutions are buying more than they're selling. So they're accumulating, folks. They are accumulating. Would you consider accumulating? I'd love to know what you guys think about this, my number 7, my 007 pick, Visa. I mean, how many of you guys have a Visa in your wallet? So just ask yourself, is this or is this not a giant? Look at their revenue, 24 billion. Revenue growth over the last 3 years, 12.93%. Revenue per share, 11.01. And revenue growth over the last 5 years, 12.53%. So that's very steady revenue growth. So just looking at all the key ratios, the ratios look really strong here. And their asset turnover is 0.30. Their receivable turnover is 8.70. So their assets to liabilities turnover is astronomical. Their return on equity is 7.25%, and the return on assets is 2.9%. Their return on capital is 18.92%. These margins are very strong. They're very healthy. This is why Visa is my number 7 pick in July 2019. Now, in my number 6 pick, we're going back to a smaller company. Now, when you get anything under $1, it starts to become dangerous, okay? So don't run out and buy a stock just because I give it to you, okay? What I want you to do is I want you to do the research. I want you to do the due diligence. I want you to tell me why you like these stocks, why you dislike these stocks. In number 6, Radiant Technologies. In a world right now in the cannabis sector, Radiant Technologies is an extraction sleeping giant just waiting to be exposed to the world. And very few people know about this company, but this is a company that is going to make headlines, okay? I predict this is a company that's going to make headlines. You can see that they've traded well over $2, and they've been as low as 67 cents, 69 cents. They've been well over $1 a few times, okay? But for some reason, these stocks, when they get under $1, they seem to have a lot of trouble getting back out, okay? So be careful. I'm not suggesting you go buy this. I just think that the upside is so big, and this is why I had to put Radiant Technologies on this list. The symbol is RTI in Canada and RDDTF in America. So Radiant Technologies is an extraction play. Now, if we go and see if they have a research report. Let's see if they have a research report. I'm not sure if they do or not. Let's see if there's some analyst coverage. Yeah, no research report. Not yet. No analyst coverage yet. So they're still a small company. They're not getting the analyst coverage others are getting. But they are an extraction company that is right now working very closely with Aurora Cannabis. And they have 265 million shares issued and outstanding. And I believe that they have a $220 million market cap. So this is a company that is kind of like a sleeping giant. And they are right now providing facility updates. Let's take a look at some of these update facilities. Let's take a look at this. Radiant Technologies provides update on progress of cannabis and hemp extraction facilities and issues shares for services. Radiant Technologies is pleased to announce it has awarded the mandate for the second phase of construction of its Edmonton 3 facility in Fillmore Construction Management, Inc. Construction is well underway, with footings and foundation work having been completed and the structural component of the building now in progress and on schedule. Fillmore was selected by Radiant due to its extensive previous experience developing food processing and GMP-approved manufacturing plants. Edmonton 3 is Radiant's expanded capacity cannabis and hemp processing line that is expected to have a total annual throughput capacity, ready for this, of 280,000 kgs a year of cannabis and 2.8 million kgs a year of hemp upon completion in calendar 2020. This is early stage, folks. I ain't telling you to buy this for July. I'm just telling you that long term, this is going to be a freaking giant. But they're working with Aurora Cannabis inside the Aurora facilities. They are their extraction partner. So when Aurora needs extraction, they're coming to Radiant Technologies. This is why I think this company is so freaking exciting. Radiant completed its first commercial extraction run for Aurora Inc., ACB in Canada, ACB on the New York Stock Exchange in May 2019, and its Edmonton 1 facility, which has an annual throughput capacity of at least 56,000 kgs of cannabis a year. Radiant will continue to scale up its operations at Edmonton 1 throughout the summer, expecting to reach full capacity at the facility in late 2019. So we got 6 months until it gets the full capacity, folks. Do you understand what's going to happen here? Additionally, the ongoing retrofitting of Edmonton 2, Radiant's dedicated hemp processing line, which is expected to have a total annual throughput capacity of 420,000 kgs a year of hemp, is on schedule for the completion of calendar Q4 2019. Foundation work also has now begun on Radiant's brand new 100,000 square foot facilities in Germany. This facility is expected to have a total annual throughput capacity in excess of 280,000 kgs a year of cannabis and 2.8 million kgs a year of hemp upon completion in calendar 2020. So I'm not going to keep reading all of this information, but man, I like this stock. I like this stock. Oh my goodness. Radiant Technologies provides industry-scale manufacturing solutions for premium natural ingredients and products. Utilizing its patented MAP trademark extraction technology, their MAP trademark extraction technology, Radiant delivers superior customer outcomes in terms of ingredient purity, yield, and cost, serving global market leaders in industries such as food and beverages, nutraceuticals, pharmaceuticals, cosmetics, and personal care. Since 2016, Radiant has expanded its offerings to enter the cannabinoids market using its MAP trademark platform to provide premium ingredients that contain a full range of cannabinoid and terpene profiles. This company has so much potential, so much upside. They are number 6 on my list, Radiant Technologies. In number 5, Aphria. I don't need to go through Aphria. You guys know Aphria. We all know Aphria, okay? They are number 5. Number 5 is Aphria. APHA. You guys all know it. I don't even really need to go through it. They're number 5 on my list. They are a freaking giant. And, you know, I've talked about them so many times. I'm not even going to talk about them this time, okay? But these guys, I haven't talked about them in a while. These guys are finally cheap, guys. Aurora Cannabis. They're finally cheap, folks. It's been a long while. It's been a long while coming. And we got them back under $10. And I'm telling you guys right now, they are number 4 on my list. Number 4 is ACB. All the millennials' favorite stock is Aurora Cannabis. And I'm telling you guys right now, this bad boy is cheap amongst its peers. It is cheap amongst its peers, and they are a giant. I'm telling you right now, Aurora Cannabis is a giant, and they are undervalued amongst their peers. Now, you can look at the ups and downs and the highs and lows of Aurora Cannabis, and this is due to the fact that they have a lot of shares issued outstanding, over 1 billion shares issued outstanding. But you have to remember, this is a company that is a giant, okay? And the price of being number 1 in the sector or number 2 in the sector is expensive. And this is why they have so many shares outstanding. Cannabis Growth has used a model of using their cash to acquire their growth, where Aurora Cannabis is using their stock, which is not necessarily a bad idea because they're using their stock now, and eventually they're going to get a partner which is going to use cash to infuse into their bottom line, which I believe will allow Aurora to absolutely explode. We've seen them at $15 a few times. Will we see them at $15 again? I believe we will. And I believe we see Aurora Cannabis double from these prices. When? I don't know. But at some point, there will be a resurrection. As you see here in this marketplace, it goes up and then it comes down. And then it goes up and then it comes down. And then it goes up and then it comes down. So we're not all the way down. We've been a little bit lower. So be careful. We could maybe go lower. I wouldn't be surprised if it does. But I also believe the upside is tremendous, even from these levels. And if you can buy Aurora Cannabis under $10 and you're thinking long term, you're most likely going to be safe, okay? Because this is a company that has so much potential, is globally already positioned in so many countries. And I believe from these levels, Aurora Cannabis goes much higher, in my opinion, okay? Now let's take a look at analyst estimates. They are giving Aurora Cannabis a moderate buy. There is a ranking of 52 out of 85 in medical products. This is richtvlive.com website. All of this information here is proprietary. This is our information, okay, folks? This is not information from outside websites. You can only get this information on Rich TV Live. Now, it says right here, Aurora Cannabis Inc. is a Canada-based company engaged in the production and distribution of medical cannabis. The company is vertically integrated and horizontally diversified across every key segment of the value chain. That is what makes Aurora so big. They are in every part of this sector. They are a giant, okay? They are positioned to be number 1 or number 2 in the entire world. Right now, only behind Cannabis Growth in quarterly sales, okay? The company is vertically integrated and horizontally diversified across every key segment of the value chain, from facility engineering and design to cannabis breeding and genetics research, cannabis and hemp production, derivatives, home cultivation, wholesale and retail distribution. That's a mouthful. The company's purpose-built facilities, which integrate technologies across all processes, are defined by automation and customization. It has a funded capacity of more than 600,000 kilograms per year, as well as sales and operations in 24 countries worldwide. worldwide. They are in more countries than any other LP in the world. So you can see the stock performance right now. It's kind of lagging. It was much higher, but the highest it's gone really over the last 6 months is $13. The lowest it's gone is around $6. So yeah, we could see lower, but I also believe the upside to be tremendous. Okay, it has a 52-week high of 1624 and a 52-week low of 529. I see the upside in the future to be at least 100% for Aurora Cannabis. When do I see it going to $20? It may go as high as $20 on this next run to edibles legalization, which I fully anticipate we will see a run up at some point here in the near future. So stay tuned to that. Now, let's take a look at their short interest. One of the interesting things I find about this company, even though they have a float of 981 million shares, which is 96% of their entire shares issued and outstanding, they only have 5.3% of their shares being shorted. So I believe the institutions believe the upside to be greater than the downside right now on Canopy Growth and Aurora Cannabis. But with Aurora Cannabis right now, look at this. Institutionals bought 9.87 million shares in the last 3 months, and they only sold 7.23 million shares, which to me proves that they are accumulating Aurora Cannabis. The institutional holdings are 12.7%. The short interest, 31.42 million out of 981 million shares. This to me is signaling a buy. Like I said, it could go lower, but I also believe the upside to be way higher. Why would institutions be accumulating Aurora Cannabis if they didn't feel like it was going to go higher? So ask yourself that question. Okay. Now, if you look at their long-term debt to capital markets ratio, interest coverage, quick ratio, revenue growth, the numbers look like a company that's growing, okay? Take a look at this. Revenue growth, their revenue was 182.84 million, and the revenue growth over the last 3 years is a staggering 428.14%. So this is a company that's clearly growing and growing exponentially. You can see their financial summary last quarter, 65.15 million. So you can see the revenue growth has just been growing quarter over quarter, year over year. Okay, you can see their cash from financing is right now at 448 million. Total assets, which I really like here, are 5.55 billion, and their total liabilities of 1.16 billion, which means they have 4.39 billion in equity for this giant. Unbelievable. So that's Aurora Cannabis and why they are number 4 on my list. Now, number 3 is going to be a new one for you guys. I guarantee you probably haven't heard this one before from anyone else. That's why you're going to hear it here on Rich TV Live, because you guys are here and you're joining me. And thank you guys for joining. If you guys haven't smashed the like button, please smash the like button, comment down below, share the video everywhere. Remember, if I win and you win, we all win. So let's win. LWAY. Okay? LWAY. Lifeway Foods. Lifeway Foods. So sometimes you just got to pop in the name to get the information you're looking for. So Lifeway Foods is another stock that's being promoted by National Inflation Association. I brought this pick to our community first. I told everybody that it was being promoted. I said, everyone put it on alert. When I brought it, it was just over $2, probably around $2.30. And they are now at $3.79. I told everybody, expect this stock to make a move, and they have. National Inflation Association, I told you guys, they're good at what they do. Look at this. It's a low float play, guys. Only 15 million shares issued and outstanding. And National Inflation Association is predicting that LWAY, my number 3 pick for July 2019, National Inflation Association is predicting that this stock goes to $10. $10. Imagine that. Imagine that. So do your research, do your due diligence. I'd love to know what you think about Lifeway Foods Inc. And they've been talking about them and comparing them to Beyond Meat, which is obviously in the food business. But look at this, folks. Strong buy, baby. And still relatively cheap at $3.79 on a senior exchange, Lifeway Foods Inc. But the volume is still small. Only 8,835 shares have traded. So it's a very tightly held stock. It is a strong buy, but it doesn't have a lot of coverage. So just be careful. Don't chase it. Do your due diligence. Do your research. It is a stock that is thinly traded. It is being promoted by National Inflation Association. I wanted to bring it to your attention because it is up dramatically since, the volume was 275,000 shares. The average volume is 8,835 shares. So the volume has actually been growing, and it's actually up to $3.82 after hours. So it's already showing up after hours, folks. So we see the after hours numbers here on richtvlive.com for Lifeway Foods Inc. And I'd love to know what you guys think about this company. I'm sure you haven't heard it anywhere else. And that's what we pride ourselves in, is bringing you winners and bringing them to you first. Okay? Now, let's take a look at my number 2 pick. My number 2 pick is Cannabis. Okay? I've been talking about these guys a lot. You guys know what I think about Cannabis. I absolutely love this company. I see so much potential, so much upside in this stock. Let's take a look at this. I'm going to show you guys something real soon here. So Cannabis Global Inc. It's a strong buy. I don't want to get too much into it because you guys know, if you've been watching Rich TV Live, what I think about Cannabis. Number 2 on this list, Cannabis. Zena in Canada, ZBISF in America. I see enormous upside in the future for this company. And all you need to do is go to YouTube. And let's take a look at it. We're going to go to YouTube. I'm going to click on YouTube.
Hi, my name's Petra Hess from PetraPicks.com.
Petra Hess.
Last year, I was able to make about $300,000.
Wow. Congratulations, Petra Hess. So we're going to look at Cannabis stock. Let's take a look at Cannabis stock. Let's see what pops up here. Let's look at Cannabis stock and see what. Oops, wrong video here. Let's Cannabis. All the people talking about Cannabis. It's funny because I was the first one ever to talk about Cannabis. And now we're starting to see others start talking about it. So the word is starting to get out on Cannabis. More and more people are starting to learn about Cannabis. And it's still cheap. That's the beautiful thing about this stock. It's actually really, really cheap. And a lot of people still don't know about it. You know? It's really, really cheap. And a lot of people don't know about it. And it's funny because they have their own channel. Cannabis Facility. Let's look at Cannabis Facility. Cannabis. Welcome. Here we go. Take a look at this.
The Cannabis Langley facility is located on a 98-acre parcel of land in Langley, British Columbia. That facility includes 2.1 million square feet under glass of greenhouse. The design capacity of that facility is 426 tons per annum of cannabis.
Welcome to Cannabis Langley, the first 10-acre block of cannabis production. Welcome to the entrance of Cannabis Langley. Here our employees will come on a fresh day of work, currently under construction, where they'll pass through their first security checkpoint, where they'll enter into the change rooms and onto the operational floor. And stepping onto the operational floor, we have several offices here for our growing staff, as well as our quality assurance team. They're located right next to all the flower rooms to ensure a quality product every time. Here on the operational floor, we have 16 dry rooms, 2 trim rooms, and our large sanitation room. And here we are in our cannabis storage room. Within this room right here, we can hold over 10 tons of dried cannabis. Behind me here, we have the automated potting station, where we will bring soil from the outside on a conveyor belt and drop into an automated potting machine. This machine will fill in pots and then automatically transplant them onto tray tables, which will then cycle right through into the growing rooms. Here we have our first flower room in phase 1 of construction. It consists of 25,000 square feet of overall canopy. We'll be using a mixture of HPS, LED, and natural sunlight for the plants. Thank you for joining me on this Cannabis Langley construction update.
So yeah, they're my number 2 pick for July 2019. I see tremendous growth potential in the future for Cannabis, a company that's just getting started, guys, and they're not hiding it. That's their website, that's their channel, that's their YouTube channel we just showed that video on. These guys are just getting started, but just imagine when those facilities, those 2.1 million square feet of facilities is filled with cannabis. How much revenue are they going to generate? And will they continue to be trading at under $2? I think not. This is why they are my number 2 pick for July and beyond 2019. And a number 1 pick, Bitcoin's hot, folks. And this is why this is my number 1 pick. Bitcoin is hot. Bitcoin Investment Trust is my number 1 pick for July 2019. Up 6.44%. Hasn't changed after hours, but Bitcoin is up right now. And due to the fact that Bitcoin is up right now, I believe Bitcoin Investment Trust goes higher on Monday. In fact, I believe it continues to go higher. And if you look at its chart here, you can see it is now approaching it is past a 1-year high. So we've seen this bad boy so cheap. Oh my goodness. It was at $3.84 on February 6, 2019. Now at $13.55, up 6.44% on Friday. And I believe this bad boy goes way higher. Only 228 million shares issued and outstanding. This thing has the potential to be a giant. I don't see any reason why this stock doesn't go to at least $20. Now remember, this is highly volatile. Cryptocurrency is extremely volatile. As you can see here, the analyst ratings are giving it a strong sell. So please be careful. Do not chase this stock. I brought you this stock last month in my top 10 list at under $10. It is now at $13.55. It's been a very good pick for our members. Anyone that believes in Bitcoin that doesn't want to get a Bitcoin wallet, a cryptocurrency exchange account, doesn't want to store their cryptos in a paper wallet, doesn't want to get involved in any of that, can buy this stock because this stock is 9.9% of Bitcoin. So typically when Bitcoin goes up, GBTC will also go up. So watch it carefully. The volume is growing astronomically. 8.6 million shares traded at $13.55. So this is a stock to watch. They are my number 1 pick for July 2019. And if we see Bitcoin run to 20,000 like some people are predicting, then I don't see any reason why we don't see GBTC go to $20 or $30. That's right. I predict that we will see GBTC go to $20 or $30. I brought it to you guys last month in my top 10. When it was under 10, it's now at $13.55. So you can see here that they are a strong sell. So be careful, but they're my number 1 pick because of the fact that Bitcoin is hot. You can see the chart is trending up. Now be careful. Its 52-week low is $3.66. Its 52-week high is $13.75. You don't want to chase anything that's at a 52-week high. However, Bitcoin is running. And if Bitcoin continues to run, I believe we see this stock continue to run. Now, what happened here with this stock? When we started watching this stock, it was actually trading at around $50. It ran to $3,000 when Bitcoin exploded to $20,000. Then they did a forward split 91-1. And what happened is the stock tanked when Bitcoin tanked all the way to $3 from around $20. Now that Bitcoin's running back up to the 20,000 mark, which a lot of people are anticipating, I believe we will see a run up in GBTC. Now, it may continue to go up, but it also may continue to go down. So be careful. You don't know. Nobody really knows. But look at this. This is something that's really telling to me. Institutions bought 19,097 shares of GBTC over the last 3 months and sold 0. 2 institutions, right here, it says right here, 2 institutions bought 19,097 shares and 0 sold. That's a telling sign. 0 short interest, folks. 0 short interest and 2.5% institutional holdings. So only a small percentage of their shares are held by institutions. So what is driving this? I say it's the people. I say it's the retail. It's the retail investors that like cryptocurrencies. It's cryptocurrency enthusiasts that want to position themselves in Bitcoin without actually having to put their money in an exchange or put it in a hardware wallet or keep it in a paper wallet. So GBTC is my number 1 pick for July 2019. Thank you guys for watching. This is Rich from Rich TV Live. Number 1 is GBTC. They are number 1, my number 1 pick for July 2019. And just going back over all of the picks, GBTC is number 1, Xena is number 2, LWAY is number 3, Aurora Cannabis is number 4, Afria is number 5, Radiant Technologies is number 6, RTI is number 7. Look at this 3-month chart. Let's look at the 6-month chart. Look at that 6-month chart. It's just a thing of beauty. Visa is number 7. MasterCard is number 8. Fiore Gold is number 9. And CanTrust is number 10. Those are the top 10 picks for July 2019. This is your boy Rich from Rich TV Live. And I'm out. Go to richtvlive.com. Get all of this information that you saw here while we've been live. Stay connected. Join our Telegram. Join our email list to get free picks and updates and news 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This is your boy Rich from Rich TV Live. Learn about crypto, mining, technology, cannabis. Go to the pot indices. We got all the US pot stocks right here. All at Rich TV Live. All the US pot stocks listed and ranked every single day for you to be able to learn about the cannabis sector. Those are the US cannabis stocks. We also have the Canadian cannabis index that we are watching and following every single day. And we will continue to, and you can go to volume leaders, percentage gainers, and see all the winners every single day, absolutely free, right there on www.richtvlive.com. You can see that Harvest One Cannabis had a nice day on Friday. TerraSend Corp had a big day, up 9%. Agroflora Organics had a nice day, up 8%. National Access Cannabis, Meta, company we talked about a lot, up 5%. Choom up 5%. Oxley finally up 4%. FSD Pharma up 3%. RavenQuest Biomed Inc. up 1%. Afria at $9, dirt cheap, up 1%. And Organogram, another one that could have been on my top 10 actually, at $8.55. I see big upside for them too, with edibles legalizing around the corner. Thank you guys very much. If you haven't hit the like, smash the like. This is your boy Rich from Rich TV Live, and we're out. Peace.